No, I think that, this targeted assassination of individual leaders can offer some momentary satisfaction, but the truth is that we know that terrorism is a hydra-headed monster. There'll be many more heads coming up. We've seen various people, starting with Bin Laden, on being targeted one after the other, whether it's in Al-Qaeda, whether it's in ISIS. The fact is the phenomenon is continuing to spread and grow, and if this person is gone tomorrow, somebody else may come in his place. For India, I would say that there is no cause for either satisfaction or complacency, because the threats to us are closer to home, including from across the border. So we have to continue to be vigilant. So I think we have to concentrate much more on our own neighborhood and ensure that we can protect our own people and our own society.
We have defense expert Major General G.D. Bakshi live with us on this broadcast. General G.D. Bakshi, Osama Bin Laden was found in Pakistan. That was the first big success coming the United States way. This time it's Al-Zawahiri. He was found in Kabul. How do you look at this development first up?
What I want to tell you is that Osama Bin Laden was found in Abbottabad in a 3-story mansion just 800 meters from Pakistan Military Academy, Kabul. Now, Ayman Al-Zawahiri has gone one step further. He has gotten full 5-star treatment. He was kept in the house of Sirajuddin Haqqani, the interior minister. And his son and his son-in-law were both there, and are reported to have been killed with him. So it is quite obvious that the Taliban is callously ignoring its assurances to the world that they will not support terror, they will not give shelter to terrorists, masterminds, etc. They have flagrantly violated this, because they think that the Ukraine war is on. All attention has gone out of Afghanistan, and therefore they can do what they like. From the house of Sirajuddin Haqqani, it is this gentleman, this man, this Ayman Al-Zawahiri, this murderer. He has been issuing fatwas, he has been trying to interfere in India's internal affairs, trying to incite, whether on the hijab row or other matters, incite the Muslims to create communal violence in South Asia. He is a global mastermind of terror. And imagine, he is being allowed to stay in the home minister's, the interior minister's house. Now there is an element in India which has been telling us, let us talk with the Taliban, let us be the first to recognize the Taliban, etc. All this is now we can see the reality, and I think we should now take the Taliban to task, the world.
All right, we have more breaking news coming in. Before we take this up with General G.D. Bakshi, and news coming in, and this is an inside scoop, that the killing of Zawahiri may adversely have affected the morale of AQ supporters and cadres in India as well. Recently, they were inciting waves of propaganda campaigns and trying to rebuild the AQ organizational machinery here in India. So this may adversely hamper the momentum of AQ's regional affiliates, several of them. Now, the extremely close ties between Taliban and AQ, remember, evident from the fact that Zawahiri was stationed in posh Kabul neighborhood. Now, everyone has been speaking, Srinjoy, of the Haqqani network's involvement there. Given that this was no isolated mountain peak, isolated location where Zawahiri was possibly seeking shelter. This was a posh locality, a posh location. This was downtown Kabul, where he was hunted and then taken down.
It's very similar to the Osama Bin Laden situation. Let's not forget that Osama Bin Laden was in Abbottabad. Yes, he was definitely in downtown Kabul when Hellfire missile hit him. But the point is, who leaked the information? And on the basis of that, there could be a fight between the Haqqani network and the Taliban, because the Haqqani network holds significant posts in the Taliban government, the Home Ministry, the equivalent of the Home Ministry, the Interior Ministry. So the question is, who leaked it? Did the Taliban people leak it? Did the Haqqanis leak it? And there could well be a fight between the two. As far as India is concerned, well, it's a bit of a breather, because once the leader, Al-Zawahiri, is killed, then naturally it would
Yes,
take
so the
a long
Indian
time
intel agencies
for-
in that sense looking at the situation very closely, but the sense that we're also getting is that we are likely to see further infighting between the Taliban and the Haqqani network on who possibly leaked this information. Let me once again take this back to General G.D. Bakshi, who continues to stay on with us. General Bakshi, the Pakistan-Taliban link is unmistakable in this case, isn't it? Haqqani network concealed his location is what we're picking up from several media reports as well. Now, we all know Haqqani's links to Pakistan's ISIS.
Absolutely crystal clear and unmistakable. Nobody can have any doubts after we find the greatest enemy of America, the greatest enemy of India, ensconced in the house of the Interior Minister Sirajuddin Haqqani, a cat's paw of Pakistan and its ISI. Don't forget the fact that the ISI chief himself had gone last year to see that the Haqqanis played a pivotal role in the Taliban administration. They are the cat's paw of the ISI, and they were giving shelter for the last 12 months to Ayman Al-Zawahiri, the man who was number 2 to Osama Bin Laden, the man who was directly responsible for 9/11, the man who has been creating trouble for India ceaselessly. So I think it's about time the world took the Taliban to task, held them to account for all the assurances they had given to the world. They have flagrantly violated them because they thought the Ukraine war is on, nobody is looking and they can do as they please. And to all those who think that the Taliban has turned a new leaf, the Taliban has reformed, this is Taliban 2.0, you can see the reality on the wall. And even if after this you wish to cozy up, suck up to the Taliban, then I think we are out of our minds.
Well, most certainly the Taliban
Absolutely. The Hellfire missile is a third.
Not lived up to the promises made to the United States as well before United States departure from Afghanistan. Well, let's now shift our focus, General Bakshi, and talk about the weapon used in this particular operation. America's used the Hellfire missile to take him down. Tell us what you make of this strategy that was adopted by the United States, given that this is a high-precision weapon used by the US to avoid any sort of collateral damage.
Absolutely. The Hellfire missile is a third generation anti-tank missile, right? It is frequently being used by the Predator drones to strike out or to knock out pinpoint targets. It is laser guided and then it has autonomous IR guidance towards the end, the terminal phase. It is a very accurate missile. It is designed to destroy tanks, and as such it can create mayhem in a small pinpoint target without creating a great deal of collateral damage. So it is generally selected when you have a very clear, precise coordinate about the target, which in this case they had. You see, if you keep Ayman Al-Zawahiri in Kabul, the capital, in the house of Sirajuddin Haqqani, well, any intelligence agency worth the name can pick out his location. And the Americans have done that. We were wondering how, when they have no boots on the ground, how could they be sure of his location? If the Taliban seeks to advertise the location and keep it in Sirajuddin Haqqani's house, then, I mean, this is too prominent a target to be missed. The Americans have caught it, the CIA has registered it and had it smashed to bits. I understand that Sirajuddin Haqqani's son and son-in-law both have also been killed in this, in the five-star comfort that they were trying to provide to Ayman Al-Zawahiri, the head of the Al-Qaeda, the greatest enemy of the United States, the enemy of India and all peace-loving countries around.
Well, we're yet to pick up a confirmation on that, General Bakshi, but as far as US President Joe Biden is concerned, he's saying that the country will ensure that Afghanistan is no longer a safe haven to any of the terror organizations. But what does this say about the Taliban? The Taliban that promised to not shelter or promote terror.
I mean, it is laughable. After that, we still want to hope that they will adhere to their promise. This is a joke of the monumental order. This is a monumental joke. They are flagrantly violating all the international conventions and rules that they signed, and I think it's about time that the rest of the world now decided to overthrow this bestial regime which has reneged on every single promise. The promise to have an inclusive government, all Afghan government, the promise to give Afghan women their rights to education, the promise that they will not support terrorism in any form or manner, have flagrantly violated all of them. And now you find that a lot of the equipment that the Americans had left behind in Afghanistan is finding its way into Jammu and Kashmir and possibly next into Punjab. We have to take action against the Taliban because this is a rogue regime sponsored by Pakistan, and I don't know how Pakistan got the better of the United States, and the United States very thoughtfully gifted $40 billion worth of weapons to this regime so that it can be spread all over, weapons that the Taliban can't use, but it can supply to every terrorist organization in the world, supply to the ISI, induct push into India. I think it's time that we took the Taliban to task.
Thank you for putting that in perspective for us, Major General G.D. Bakshi. Thank you for speaking to Times Now. Well, yes, an imminent concern for India also is the fact that disenchanted AQ cadres may shift their allegiance to Islamic State and its regional affiliate as well. And considering the field operational capabilities of ISKP to mount spectacular attacks, any possible tilt from AQ ranks to the ISS warrants a serious attention. So a lot of non-stop reactions have been coming in on this big global development. Take a look.
This shows America's reach all over and America's will to deliver justice to its people. India should also take note of this because India is going to only become a superpower when it does strike its enemies this way. We are still looking for the 9/11 people over there who are hiding in Pakistan. Keep harping on that. They are hiding in Pakistan, but Pakistan takes no action. So this is a lesson for India too. And of course all the terrorists all around the world, that they will be hunted down wherever they are.
बड़ी खबर है और बिन लादेन के बाद ये दूसरी बड़ी उपलब्धि अमेरिका को मिली। अल-जवाहिरी जो कि बहुत ही ख़तरनाक आतंकवादी अल-कायदा के चीफ थे और ये काफ़ी समय से पाकिस्तान और अफ़गानिस्तान के बीच में आना जाना इनका बना हुआ था। पाकिस्तान में ही रहते थे। पाकिस्तान की ऊपर अल-कायदा के ऊपर के कंट्रोल जो बेसिकली है अल-कायदा पे वो पाकिस्तान का है और पाकिस्तान के उनके साथ काफ़ी घनिष्ठ संबंध है। अफ़गानिस्तान को इन आतंकवादी संगठनों ने, चाहे वो तालिबान हो या अल-कायदा हो, इन्हीं ने बिल्कुल तबाह और बर्बाद किया है। इस तरह से मैं समझता हूँ कि ये एक बड़ा ऑपरेशन था और काफ़ी डेलिकेट था।
So this remains a big talking point worldwide. With that, it's time for us to head into a very short break. News and updates continue. Stay tuned.